Welcome to the Greater Sum Foundation's Pitch Deck Primer. If your organisation is competing for a spot in Greater Sum's 2018 non-profit cohort, you'll use this format for your live pitch. You'll need to submit the actual pitch deck, the PowerPoint presentation, to our review team prior to your presentation so that the team can preview your content. Pitches are a standard practice in business and is seen more and more often in the non-profit sector. This is a concise way to share ideas and information. Don't bury the lead. Secure the audience's attention and good feelings by demonstrating in your first slide that your idea already has traction. Each slide should be compelling and clear. Graphs and charts help display your data. Pictures may help tell your story, but don't drift into a storytelling format. This video will walk you through the 11 slides that the Greater Sum recommends our finalists include in their pitch decks. You can find a wealth of additional information online, including templates, graphics, and even the legendary pitch decks of very successful startups like Facebook or Airbnb. Here's an overview of what you should be putting together. Your pitch deck should have 11 slides: traction, overview, problem, solution, business model, market size, outreach, marketing, competition, financials, team, milestones, and measurement. Traction are the biggest wins or the early yeses your nonprofit has had. There are two types of early yeses: demand side and supply side. Examples of demand side yeses might be the number of people who have signed up for your program, the aid you have provided, or measurement of your impact. Examples of supply side yeses will be vendors who have signed on with you, in-kind services or facilities you've secured, or partnerships with other community organisations. This is also the place to mention your fundraising efforts, famous team members, or fans of your organisation. If you don't feel like you have traction yet, talk about the best thing your organisation has going for you. If you really don't have a good lead-in, start with your overview slide. The overview slide should describe what your company does. It will help viewers quickly understand your organisation and give some context for the rest of your presentation. What do you provide? To whom? To do what? This should only take a minute to express, but you want to be as specific as possible. For example, if I tell you that the Greater Sum Foundation provides grants and volunteers to non-profits to help them achieve their missions, you get a bit of an idea of what we do. If I tell you that the Greater Sum Foundation provides grants in the range of $10,000 to $25,000, as well as the services of volunteer subject matter experts to early stage non-profits to support innovation in the non-profit sector, that's more robust and doesn't take much more time. Your problem solution slide should explain the problem you're trying to solve. Assume that reviewers aren't experts in your field. Why is this a problem? What are the root causes? How many people does this problem affect? What's the impact? Now, your solution. How do you plan to solve the problem? Why hasn't someone else solved it already? What's the most difficult part of what you're trying to do? Now that we understand the problem, your business model slide should have more nuts and bolts information. Tell us how much it costs per unit to implement your solutions, whether people pay for your services, and if so, describe your revenue model. Describe the impact to recipients of your program, how you fund your work, and whether your venture will become sustainable through revenue or always rely on fundraising. In your market share slide, tell us who experiences the problem you're describing. Start big, with everyone who has a problem, and work back to the part of the market that you are addressing. This is the place to use geographic and demographic data. Be as specific as you can. For example, if you operate a program that works with homeless veterans in Miami, start with the US homeless population and the percentage who are veterans. Work down to the number of chronically homeless veterans in Florida. Explain your decision to work in Miami, the number of homeless veterans you currently serve, and your capacity to expand. You've got a great concept. Now, what are you doing to get it in front of potential donors, volunteers, and clients? Your marketing outreach slide should explain who's in your target market and how you reach them. Tell us whether you get most of your support through word of mouth, social media, or events? Is this different for donors, volunteers, or clients? Is one group harder than the others to reach or recruit? What are you spending on marketing, and how does that affect the cost of operating your program? The non-profit sector doesn't talk about competition much, but that doesn't mean we operate in a vacuum. In this case, competition means organisations providing a similar service or product. Why is your solution different from theirs? Why hasn't someone done what you're doing already? Is anyone doing similar work in a different part of the sector? What's difficult or not self-evident about your solution that stops people from doing it? Your financial slide should give an overview of your current financial situation. You're going to provide a detailed cash flow statement, income statement, and balance sheet alongside this pitch deck, so don't put too much detail on the slide. Focus on current assets, donations raised to date or annually, and operational costs. Please illuminate the difference between your fixed costs, those that you have to pay regardless of how much business you do, and your variable costs, those you'll add or increase as you increase volume of work. Your team slide should convey who the key people are in the origination of your non-profit. What are their backgrounds, and why is that relevant to your venture? Why you? Why are you the best leader and spokesperson for this team? Who's on the board of directors? Are there additional experts serving in an advisory capacity? Do you have significant donors on board? Milestones are measurable steps you're going to take to achieve your goals. Incorporate information about sources of funds and how you'll use those funds. Milestones are typically displayed as a timeline. What will be the first thing you do once you get funding, the next major step, and so on. Your final slide shows how you will measure results. How do you plan to measure your impact and success or failure? You might measure impact in terms of how many lives your program affected, how many people receive services, how clients are faring after your intervention. You may add in a financial measurement of success or failure. The more detail you include, the better a potential funder will understand the impact you're trying to make and whether investing in your venture is a wise investment. Thanks for your interest in working with the Greater Sun Foundation. We hope that the pitch deck you develop for our application process ends up being a useful product that helps you raise funds and support for your non-profit. We look forward to seeing your new pitch deck.